guys, Pat here. I know it's been a while, and I'm going to attempt again to get back into YouTube. I have got a couple foster dogs right now. I've been fostering kind of regularly, and this particular dog, his name is Conway, and he's supposedly a Bichon Lhasa mix that has a body that's like 3 times the length that it should be for his legs. And I don't know if he's okay. So, sweetest dog in the world, but he's got some issues, and he's great with other dogs. He's great with my cat. Apparently he's great with kids, as far as the paperwork says. He's got some major skin issues going on, and it looks like, I mean, obviously an allergy to something, and it pretty much starts from his last rib and works forward. So my suspicion is that it is probably from a flea product like Frontline or something that he's allergic to. He does have an appointment with a specialist, so I can't mess with him too much because I don't want to fake mask the problem before he sees the specialist. I think he's going to have some allergy tests and whatnot. He's also got some obvious sight and hearing problems. And so what I'm going to do in the limited time that I have him is try to make him the most comfortable that I can make him. And so you can see that he has a lot of hair covering his eyes. And so what sight he does have, I'm going to try to clear that pathway so that he can see better. He has a really hard time going up and down steps, and I don't know if it's because his body is so long that his brain is so far in front of his back end that by the time it tells his back end what to do, I don't know. Or if it's his sight. I do know that his hearing is not the best because I have to speak loudly when I talk to him for him to be able to even acknowledge me. He's so sweet, but I've got hardwood floors in most of my house, and then I've got laminate tile in the living room, in the kitchen, and he does a lot of the same things that Earl, my 15-year-old poodle, does. And Earl does things like when he's eating, he can't hear very well, and so once in a while when he's eating, he'll crunch on a piece of food and he can hear it. Like if you're wearing earplugs and you can kind of hear your own voice inside your head differently than you normally hear yourself. And I think what happens is Earl hears a certain crunch and it scares him, and he flies across the floor and then he slips and falls, and it's horrible. And so the two of them have been driving me insane because Earl will freak out for no reason, or even if he's not eating, he's just standing there and he just flies across the floor for no reason. And Conway does the same thing, and once in a while they'll run into each other, and then the other one flies across the floor and then runs back into and it's this back and forth like ping pong thing, and it's just a nightmare around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim his toenails for sure because they're really overgrown, and on hardwood floors it's harder for him to walk. Also, I'm going to trim all the hair on the bottom of his feet, and then I'm going to put some Musher's Secret on the bottom of his feet. And I'll explain what that is when I apply it. So let's get going and make Conway, I keep calling him Convoy, but make Conway as comfortable as he can for his short stay here. It's probably going to be about 2 weeks. And if I had longer with him, if I had unlimited time, I would try to figure out this allergy thing on my own. But what we started with obviously would be the food. And so we changed his food, and he was on a home-cooked diet, and like I said, he's a foster, so we don't know all the details that we would really like to know for him. You know, if it were up to my boyfriend, he would be making the dog steak and fried potatoes for supper every night, and bacon and eggs for breakfast. So I don't know what Conway's mom was making. He maybe really loved it, but we did switch his food, and he's a good eater. He's a good boy. He's just very frightened by a lot of different things. Like when I tried to stand him up, he did the little schnauzer airplane thing. So we're going to just go real slow with him and make him as comfortable as he can. So first what we're gonna do with Conway is we're gonna clean up his eye area so that he can see better. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my thinning shear, okay buddy, and clean out the hair in between his eyes. And he might not look real gorgeous when he's done being groomed, but with a dog with problems like this, comfort is more important than vanity. So, like with my poodle, when I groom him, or when the students groom him, he usually gets done about a quarter of the way, and then we're done for the day. And that's it. And then he gets worked on again in a day or two. And I don't care what he looks like anymore. He's had his fancy trims throughout the years, and he's had his 15 minutes of fame, and now it's all about comfort. So sometimes he'll come home and he'll only have a bath, sometimes he'll come home and he you know, has his body shaved and his legs weren't done or whatever, but we just keep plugging at it until he's comfortable. And now we just shave him down because it's too much for him to stand on the table that long to have, you know, a full scissor or a fancy continental cut or whatever. So, okay, so I pretty much have the hair in between the eyes cleaned out, and that alone would help. So then I'm gonna take the hair above the eyes and I'm gonna trim it back with a curved shear. Probably should have my glasses on for this. And I'm going to do him a little bit shorter than I normally would do most dogs that come into the grooming shop, because you want to leave enough so they don't look like they're riding on a motorcycle really fast. But with Conway here, I am only concerned with his well-being. So I'm going to trim it a little bit shorter. And keep in mind that he is like really dirty right now and really greasy, so the end result may be even worse than what I am wanting. So just that alone took a lot of that hair. And then what I'll probably do after I fully groom him is take this hair down a little bit shorter up here too, because when we're looking at him, you know, this hair up here is really cute, but when he's trying to see the floor, all this hair that's in front of his eyes is getting in his way, and it's making him uncomfortable and a little bit scared. So I may even take a little bit of that out right now. And I'm not worried about giving him a bath tonight. He stinks really bad because of his skin problems. But we're just going to have to deal with it. Look at you. You already look happier. And I'm just going to take the little flea comb and get rid of the little eye goobs that are in there. Get rid of his eyelashes. Are you happier? You're shaking. It's cold down here, isn't it? So already he can see better. And I think he's going to be a little bit happier.